Yo, it's your boy, Smoke Bathroom Madden video. Today's video, we're going to be rebuilding the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints finished the 2024 season going 5-12. And as you can see, starting off with the rebuild in the bottom right corner, Cameron Jordan has retired. So when you guys go ahead and we're sipping down in the future, don't expect to see Cam Jordan's name as Madden predicts him to retire. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roster. So we got Eric McCoy at 89 overall, Chris Olave at 87. I actually really like Chris Olave a lot. Ryan Ramczyk at 84 overall, and on the injured, Paulson Adebo with an 82 overall. He's also injured as well. So a lot of the better people are injured for the Saints, but let's be honest, the Saints really have been struggling ever since Drew Brees has retired. I've had a few bright spots, but obviously, when you lose a legend like that, it makes sense. It's going to set you back a little bit. So these are people we're going to be losing in free agency. Paulson Adebo is not interested at all at signing with us. I don't want to franchise tag him because he'll take up a lot of money. Chase Young is not interested at all signing with us. I don't want to franchise tag him because he'll take up a lot of money. And Rashid Shaheed is not interested in us at all. So a lot of people walking. That's who we're losing. Jawan Johnson also and Trevor Penning. We're not going to pick up his fifth-year option. We're also going to be losing Peyton Turner. Now, this is the only person we were able to sign, even though we did have a lot of cap room. We only signed Ryan Stonehouse. He's the only person that was really interested. He wasn't even interested, but I gave him a little bit of a higher pay job than he was asking for just because we need a punter. We have a lot of cap room as well. And also, just for you guys new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. And also, I'll do rebuilds around here as we sim it, obviously. And then, if it's a year where I don't have many draft picks, I don't really show who I pick because it's not really worth it. I didn't get anyone. But this year, that is not the case. I got Travis Hunter. So we took Travis Hunter with the 9th overall pick, a 79 overall. Of course, since EA doesn't have the draft class yet, obviously, since it's not really that time of year, we used an auto-generated one. So we got Travis Hunter, 79 overall. Then we got Kevin Winston, strong safety from Penn State, 74 overall. Then Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. I figured why not give it a shot because Derek Carr is going to probably regress into a 70 overall or around there. And then we got a few other key pieces in the later rounds. Next year, we finished 5-12, so we want the exact same record as we did last year. Kind of thought we'd do a little bit better with getting Travis Hunter in the 1st round, but I won't complain because we did only sign a punter, Ryan Stonehouse. So let's go see how everyone did. Dylan Gabriel, 3,739 passing yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 24 receptions. That is a really bad rookie year. Here's the deal. This is why I didn't take a quarterback in the 1st round, even though the Saints do kind of need one. Shador Sanders was already gone, and so was Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, and so was Cam Ward. So, yeah, I really didn't have many options. So, figured I'd just get one in the later rounds. Alvin Karmara, he had 834 yards and 10 rushing touchdowns. He had 1 fumble. Dylan Gabriel on the year, 239 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Travis Hunter, the leading receiver, with 82 receptions and 964 yards. Only 3 receiving touchdowns, though. That's kind of weird, only to see him have 3 receiving touchdowns. Cedric Wilson was our 2nd leading receiver with 64 receptions, along with 866 receiving yards, 10 receiving touchdowns. And then Chris Olave, I was kind of expecting a little bit better from him, but he had 64 receptions as well, 733 yards, and only 1 receiving touchdown. And then Foster Monroe, 59 receptions, 596 yards, 4 receiving touchdowns, and Alvin Karmara, only 1 receiving touchdown and 217 yards. Pete Warner was the leading tackler with 113 tackles. Tackles for loss was Brian Brees with 10, then Carl Granderson, then Isaiah Foskey. And then the sacks is only 8.5 with Isaiah Foskey. And then the interceptions is Trey Cowder and then Jonathan Hudden. So this is the people we're going to be losing. Not Brian Brees. We actually picked up his option. I don't know why it still says there, but his option has been accepted. We're going to be losing Ryan Ramczyk. He's a little bit old, expensive. He's not interested, and he's just going to start regressing. Trevor Penning, apparently that was an option earlier, but we're going to lose him this year. So we're definitely going to need to get a right tackle in the offseason. At least I hope so. But this is who we went ahead and signed. 27-year-old left outside linebacker, Jalen Phillips. He's actually pretty solid. Unfortunately, he's been injured quite a bit in his short career. So hopefully that doesn't happen for us. But he's 27 years old, 82 overall. We got Rashad White. Alvin Karmara is actually starting to regress like crazy. And he's only 27 years old, so he's at least got 3 years left in the tank with that running back position. Then we got a right tackle, Caleb McGurr. McGarry, and then we got Malcolm Kuntz and a kicker. And this is who we got in the draft. Obviously, it's auto-generated, but we had the 6th overall pick this time around. We got Andrew Crockett, auto-generated guy, right end out of Michigan, a 72 overall, so could have been a little bit better for picking 6th overall, but we got Scott Wooten, free safety. He's a 73 overall. Then we got a tight end who's a 66, a running back who's a 71, then a right tackle. We finished even worse than we did last year, so no 5-12 this time around. We went 2-14-1. So looks like we're not going to be holding on to Dylan Gabriel. I mean, I didn't really think he was going to be the long-term solution, but I didn't think he would be this bad. He did a little bit better this year, but I mean, still, this is not good. 3,946 yards. That's actually a lot of yards. The yards is good. Only 23 passing touchdowns. That could be a lot better. 17 interceptions. That could be a lot better as well. 17, you do not want that much. Alvin Karmara, he also needs to be better as well. I don't know why he's regressing so fast, but he really is. Only 521 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. Rachaad White with 402 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns and a fumble. I do understand Kamara's he's regressing in general, and Rachaad White's gonna take some carries, but normally Alvin Karmara is more involved in the pass game than what he has been. Chris Olave, the leading receiver with 87 receptions and 1,011 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Travis Hunter, 82 receptions, 1,002 yards, 6 receiving touchdowns. Bub Beats, 47 receptions, 666 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. Pete Warner is again leading in tackles, but he didn't even crack 100. Normally, you at least want to get 100 or around there. So, not too bad, but could have been a little bit better. Andrew Crockett is there as well, along with Brian Brees. Tackles for loss, Brian Brees is actually leading the team with 15, then Andrew Crockett with 14. Brian Brees is leading the team in sacks. Actually, no, he's tied with Andrew Crockett at 8.5. Interceptions is Kevin Winston Jr., though, the strong safety out of Penn State. Then we got Hudden and Kool-Aid McKinstry in there as well. We're going to be losing Jonathan Hudden this year in free agency. I mean, he's not really that important to our team. He has been leading in the defensive leaders, but that's because our defense has been mid. We really need to start getting some more defense. So we got a left guard in this free agency class. We got Titus Howard. He's a little bit older, but he's a serviceable right guard. We got Cater Coe, quarterback. He is 28 years old, a 79 overall. J.K. Scott, we need another punter. Then we got Trashawn Wharton, defensive tackle. And then we got Osiris Torrance just for offensive line depth. So, since we had the first overall pick, since we obviously went 2-14-1, we obviously had the first overall pick, but we took this auto-generated guy, Michael Canfield, a 75 overall. 75 is not horrible. First overall pick, though, I at least would like a 77. Not going to complain a whole lot, but still, you know what I mean. It would be nice if we just got a tad bit better, but hopefully he's a late bloomer. In the second round, we took Bryce Kitchens, left outside linebacker. Then we took another quarterback, just even for a backup, Luke Barkley. We just need some quarterback depth because we don't have Derek Carr. And we're going to be trading Dylan Gabriel, so we're going to get rid of him while he's still got a little bit potential. He's an 81 overall, so he had 2 bad years. We're going to give him to the Buffalo Bills. We're going to get Seth Brown. We need a solid right tackle. We need Terrell Bernard. We need middle linebacker actually really bad, and we need cornerback really bad. I mean, we have depth there, but we don't really have a star player or like above average player, so we're definitely going to get that with Terrell Bernard and Christian Bedford. Then Seth Brown, obviously, you could never have too much alignment. I mean, you just really can't. Then we also did a trade for another quarterback. We got the Super Bowl star. Cooper DeJean went crazy in the Super Bowl with that pick 6. I'm sure everyone loves him. Right now, at least, I know the city of Philly really does. But we're going to give up a first and a second round pick for Cooper DeJean. Might seem like a little bit of an overpayment, I guess you could say, for only an 87 overall, but he's still young, so he has a lot of potential. He could still become a 90 plus, hopefully, for our sake. But we go up to an 87 overall, so our overall is increasing a lot, but our record is, I mean, it went up. I'm not going to complain. It went from 2-14-1 to 7-10, but we still haven't made playoffs, and I normally don't start the first 3 years with not making playoffs in a rebuild, so let's hopefully try to turn things around. Michael Canfield actually did really good for his rookie year. 3,693 yards, 27 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Rachaad White, he is taken in for Alvin Karmara. Alvin Karmara has retired, I think. Yeah, he has. So 1,110 yards for Rachaad White, 10 rushing touchdowns, no fumbles. Michael Canfield, 297 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns, or rushing touchdowns. Travis Hunter, 79 receptions, 957 yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. Everett Langford, 73 receptions, 807 yards with 2 receiving touchdowns. 8 receiving touchdowns for Bub Beans. Chris Olave, 5 receiving touchdowns. Kind of disappointed Chris Olave. I thought he'd be a lot better in this sim. Anyway, Terrell Bernard, Pete Warner, and Kool-Aid McKinstry were our leader tacklers. Andrew Crockett was leaders in tackles for loss. Sacks, Andrew Crockett, Brian Brees, and then Jalen Phillips. Scott Wooten, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Cooper G, Terrell Bernard, and Kevin Winston Jr. all got interceptions for us. And this year, we are going to be losing Bub Beans to free agency. We're also going to be losing Spencer Rattler. Really don't need him since we just took Luke Barkley in the 3rd round of last year. We're going to take Pete Warner. He's only 75 overall, but that does kind of suck. He's always been up there for tackles for us. He's always been solid. But, yeah, we're just going to get rid of him. We're going to get a 94 overall right guard in Trey Smith, and we paid him an absolute bag, but we had a lot of room in cap space, and I'm probably wondering how we got so much. I mean, after Derek Carr was gone, that actually freed up a lot of cap room, like a lot, and same with Cameron Jordan. Jonathan Brooks, we signed him, but, yeah, anyway, back to Trey Smith. That's an amazing signing. That is definitely the biggest signing we have done this rebuild. And then Jonathan Brooks, we're going to get him. Rashad White hasn't been bad, but not great. Jalen McMillan as well. We don't really need receiver help, but it doesn't really hurt. And plus, I'm trying to get something going. I at least want to make a playoff berth soon. We're giving up a 2nd-round pick and a 1st-round pick in next year's draft for Devin Lloyd. Still need middle linebacker depth. Terrell Bernard, I like him. I know we just got him, but still an 81 overall starter. I don't know. We just need to get some superstars. I'm okay with trading away picks for now. I'm okay as long as we can make the playoffs this year. And we were able to. I mean, we only went 8-9, but hey, the New Orleans Saints are finally back in the playoffs. It took a solid 4 to 5 years. I mean, that's not that long of a playoff drought when you think of teams like the New York Jets. I think they went on a 14-year or 15-year drought, something like that. But still, very shocking. We only made the playoffs with 8-9 record. Michael Canfield actually did really solid. 39 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and he had a lot of passing yards. Jonathan Brooks, 804 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 fumble. Michael Canfield with 374 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns. Travis Hunter with 1,188 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. Jalen McMillan went crazy with 1,089 receiving yards, but 17 receiving touchdowns. And Chris Olave, finally, this is a big year from Chris Olave. Happy to see it. He had 1,018 yards and 10 receiving touchdowns. Kevin Winston Jr. leading in tackles. Then we got Devin Lloyd and Kool-Aid McKinstry, Terrell Bernard. Andrew Crockett leading with tackles for loss, but he's tied with Brian Brees. Andrew Crockett with 16.5 sacks. Jalen Phillips with 7. Brian Brees with 3.5 interceptions. Kevin Winston with 5, so it's pretty solid for Kevin Winston, and Cooper Jean had 3. No surprise here as we are first-round exits, losing to the Los Angeles Rams 27-17. I'm happy we made playoffs, to be honest. I mean, it's been a while. I don't think I've ever started a rebuild with the first 3 years of not making playoffs. Finally able to do it. Michael Canfield, let's see how he performed in this game. 245 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 0 interceptions, a completion percentage of 73%. And then it looks like another auto-generated guy, Ted Samuel, 1 passing touchdown, 193 yards, 0 interceptions. Kyron Williams is still on the Rams, and he's doing pretty good. 98 yards off 13 attempts, averaging 7.5 yards per carry, and he had a rushing touchdown on us. Jonathan Brooks did absolutely horrible in the game, 11 rushing attempts for only 13 yards. Travis Hunter, 8 receptions with 94 yards. He didn't get a touchdown, though. Christian Watson did pretty well with 55 yards for the Rams. Let's go check defense. Devin Lloyd with 9. Terrell Bernard with 9 tackles. And then Kobe Turner leading with tackles for loss. Then Byron Young leading with sacks. So this is who we got in the free agency class. We didn't really lose anyone that much. So we're going to sign CeeDee Lamb here. Again, we don't really need receiver. We just have cap room, and there's not really a position we need. Like, I guess we could technically use a defensive tackle, but there's no superstar defensive tackle on free agency. We got CeeDee Lamb. He's still 30 years old, but he's still 94 overall. So We are now up to an 88 overall team, 92 92 offense, 85 defense. We made playoffs going 11-6, so this is definitely the best year we've had record-wise. Let's go ahead and check out the statistics for this year. Oh my God, Michael Canfield did crazy. 4,064 yards, 32 passing touchdowns with only 3 interceptions. Only 3 interceptions in an NFL season is crazy. 72 completion percentage. Jonathan Brooks with 650 yards, average 3.3 yards per carry. 3 touchdowns, Michael Canfield, 319 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. And Hugh Perryman, 2 rushing touchdowns. Chris Olave, 1,053 yards, 10 receiving touchdowns. Then Travis Hunter with 892 yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. Everett Langford, 834 yards, 6 receiving touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb, 2 receiving touchdowns. Devin Lloyd with 119 tackles. Christian Benford with 83. Tackles for loss is going to go to Andrew Crockett. And then it's also going to go, the sacks is going to Andrew Crockett as well with 17. Then we got Montez Sweat with 5. Brian Brees with 4. Then we also got Kitchens. Finally, Kitchens is doing something. I mean, we took him in the second round, 2 years ago? Haven't really heard much of him. Devin Lloyd is going to lead with interceptions, though. And we are first-round exits in embarrassing fashion, too. A 20-3 loss in the playoffs. 20-3. And to the division rival, Carolina Panthers. Let's go ahead and see how we got this embarrassing loss. Michael Canfield didn't have any turnovers. He was sacked 7 times, though. That is a little bit worrying. Bryce Young didn't even do good. Bryce Young had 246 yards, which isn't bad, but he had 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. Taylor Sands, auto-generated running back for the Panthers. He had a touchdown of 47 yards. Bryce Young didn't even run for a touchdown. Chris Cody is an auto-generated guy for the Panthers, 75 yards. Yeah, so I don't even know how we lost this. I really don't, to be honest. It must have been a lot of field goals. Derek Brown leading with tackles for loss with 2 sacks. Princely Abudlidi. I have no clue how to pronounce that guy's name. He's auto-generated, though, and he had 4 sacks. All right, and the next year, we make the NFC Championship, believe it or not, and we're getting to the point of rebuild where it's getting a little bit long, so I'm just going to do it fast-paced for you guys. But yeah, we somehow made the NFC Championship. We lose to the Dallas Cowboys, though, 16-30, so pretty good season for us. Let's go ahead and check how we did in the playoff game. Nick DeMarco, auto-generated guy for the Cowboys, 1 passing touchdown, 2 interceptions. Michael Canfield, 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. Michael Canfield sacked 5 times this time. So again, the O-line is not doing the greatest, but maybe he's holding on to the ball for too long. Who knows? Anyway, Barber, the auto-generated guy for the Dallas Cowboys, running back, gets 2 rushing touchdowns. Josh Ely gets 115 yards. And then Cody Jenkins gets 1 receiving touchdown. Jalen Waddle was on the Cowboys, and he got 65 yards. Everett Langford got a receiving touchdown. Brian Crowder leading in tackles with 11, then Kevin Winston with 10. Micah Parsons still on the Cowboys and doing pretty good as he was up there with the tackles. And he got a sack. Andrew Crockett got a sack for us. Will Hill got a sack. Micah Parsons got an interception. Cole McKinstry and then Scott Wooten. And then next year, the 2031 NFL playoffs. We lose to the Arizona Cardinals. We were the 6th seed facing the Cardinals. And we lose to a score of 24-17. So weren't able to quite get it done to the Arizona Cardinals. Michael Canfield, 327 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 6 times. Dylan Gabriel, oh, wow, we're facing, wow, I'm shocked. I'm shocked he even does this good because he was booty cheeks the first 2 years. But we're facing a Dylan Gabriel, though, obviously our old quarterback. The Cardinals running back gets 61 yards, but no touchdown to show for it. And I don't think there was any rushing touchdowns this game. Let's go and check the receiving. Chris Olave with 8 receptions, 133 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. The Arizona Cardinals auto-generated receiver, 2 receiving touchdowns off 100 yards. And then it looks like Michael Wilson got a receiving touchdown way down there. Marcus Gregory leading for tackles. And Cooper DeJean was up there for us as well. Matthew Davidson was up there. And then sacks is Percy for the Cardinals, and then interceptions of Scott Wooten. So this is around the end of the video. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get it done with the New Orleans Saints. A little bit of a rough rebuild, and we tried our hardest. We were able to make a few playoff appearances towards the end. Definitely a slow start, though. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and comment. Comment down below any other Madden videos you guys would like to see. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.